present to you Mr. Randy Singh, our new Chief Administrative Officer for the historic town of Eatonville. So I'll now pass it over. Would you like to share with Mr. Singh?
Well, thank you, Mayor. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be part of this community and this organization.
Recording in
I've
progress.
been down since 2003 when I was invited by then Senator Sibley, who was a Florida senator, to participate in a committee that the Florida Legislature Finance Committee was putting together to look into the financial affairs of this community. So I participated in that committee. Mayor Grant was the mayor at the time. And sadly to say, the outcome of that committee is the same, basically resulted in the same challenges that you're dealing with today. My role here is to try to make a difference. And with the assistance of the mayor and this board, I fully intend to give it my all to make a difference in this organization, in this community. This is part of Orange County. I live here. I don't live in Eatonville, but it's part of the county. We all share in the pain, and we all share in the victories and the defeats. And this is all, we're all in this together. But the town has been at a disadvantage in terms of financial resources, in terms of the challenges you heard a few moments ago. And I truly believe there are solutions to help this community. I truly believe that, and that's why I'm here. If not, I would not be here. I will give it my all. I want to see this community prosper, but it's going to take effort from everyone, from the lowest level of the employees in this town to this board. This is a collective effort to make a difference, to benefit this community. And a lot of things are happening. There's a lot of things that can happen in a way that could make this community proud, and also send a message to others who think that you may not be able to do it. I think you have bright people on the board. They come from various backgrounds that can make it happen. There's a lot going on, changes are coming, and you have an opportunity to do it right, and I want to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you. Right, so we'll move on. Did anyone have anything to say? Anyone on the council? All right. Council discussion, number 1, discussion and introduction of the text MyGov.
Yes, I'm introducing this product as well as a service to the town to take a look at what it has to offer and the possibility of it benefiting the town of Eatonville. Coming up on my 6 months in this capacity as the town clerk, and I have heard throughout several meetings that one of the major concerns that have been expressed among our residents as well as our town council is effective communication. Coming up with strategic ways that we can close the gap on the communication. And so I've been doing some research, and Text MyGov is a product and a service that many municipalities do use. And I just wanted to have an opportunity to introduce it to you. And we do have a representative that will be presenting this product to us. Good evening, Dale.
Yeah, good evening, Veronica. How's it going?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for connecting with us. We're here at our 6:30 town council workshop. And we're ready to hear more about your project.
Okay, who all do we have with us tonight?
We have our town council, which is Mayor Gardner. We have our vice mayor, Rodney Daniels, Councilman Marlon Daniels, Councilman Theo Washington, and Councilwoman Randolph. And we also have our CAO, Mr. Singh, myself, along with the wonderful residents of the town of Eatonville and other staff members.
All right, well, it's nice to meet you all. I'm Del Phelps for introduction, and I have here with me Spencer. He's going to be presenting to you our system today, kind of going through and showing you how it works. But yeah, good to have you guys on here. I'll turn the time over to Spencer now, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey everyone, thanks again. And I apologize that my camera's not working, so you won't be able to see me, but I'll share my screen here and we'll get started here. I want to make sure we're respectful of your time, so we'll try to keep it around like 5 to 10 minutes if that works for you. And we'll we can answer questions, that sort of thing. So let me share my, let's see if I can share my screen here. Here we go. Okay, so TextMyGov, what it is, everyone, it's a communication tool. So it's kind of in the name. We use texting to help make communications between residents and their local municipality easier. So we work with cities and towns and counties all across the United States. We're based out of Utah. We have a lot of customers in Florida and throughout the entire nation. So our program centers around helping in 3 different ways. Number 1, residents can text in a question to the town, and then our program can actually auto respond and automatically answer that question. And we'll show you how that works. And once again, that's going to help cut down on some of the calls that come in, help get people information quicker. The other part would be residents reporting issues. So if you wanted them to report an issue there to the town, they can do that on their cell phone through texting. And then our program can make a little email report that you can have it automatically send that information to the appropriate department or appropriate staff member. And then lastly is sending out alerts. So you can use this to send out notifications to your residents. And it can be about anything, right? It can be like an emergency thing, like a water issue, or it can be something general, like an event or a meeting that's going on. Any type of text notification you are more than welcome to send out. So for the residents, how they interact with the program is just from their cell phone. As long as they have a cell phone that they can text on, they can use the program. So they don't have to download a special app on their phone. They don't have to create an account or anything. They'll just use their texting on their phone. And then there for the town, for y'all, it'll be through our online portal. So we have the website that we'll show you, that you'll have access to, where you can set everything up, send out like the mass text alerts, all of that. So once again, there's no extra equipment for the town to make this happen. You don't have to have a dedicated like town cell phone or anything like that. We also provide unlimited training and support and also users. So this can be used through the entire town, all departments, all staff members of the town there would have access to this if you wish to use the program for your benefit. Dell had gone through tonight and created an example for you to see how kind of our interactive portion works. So if you guys have your cell phones handy, just pull them out. And then we had created these 3 different responses. We've got trash, Martin Luther King, and holiday safety are our 3 options that you can text in. And then this is our demo number here, this 435 number. So I'm going to leave that up here for about 30 seconds or so. Go ahead and text one. You can just text them each one at a time, and each one will provide you with an auto response. And then you'll see we just have some kind of information there pertaining to you guys.
it yourself.
Perfect, yeah, it looks like we've had some texts come in. So for example, for like the trash one, Dell had linked it to like the trash pickup schedule is where, you know, you had that PDF on the website, which includes like the garbage collection information. So in that case, it automatically send back a link to that PDF. For the Martin Luther King, it includes a link to on the website where you have information about the celebration and everything going on there. And then lastly, with the holiday safety, once again, in this case, we have linked it back to the website with the information there on the like the tips you get on the holiday safety tips. So once again, guys, the whole point of this interactive part of the program is just to help get people information quicker. All of these responses are automatic, and we would help you preset these up so you wouldn't have to try to reply to people yourself. It's all done through our program automatically. So. And I want to make sure if you've got questions, just go ahead and shout them out as we go through this. I want to make sure we answer those for you guys.
Okay, thank you, Dale. I think we do have questions.
Of course, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are there any questions?
How many short codes are we allowed with the plan?
Yeah, like for the different responses, if I'm hearing you correctly, like how many different kinds?
Yes.
Yeah, great question. It's unlimited for we provide to you. We have some municipalities we work with that have hundreds, some have less, but there's no limit there.
Is the text number a full phone number or is it a short code?
Great question. We utilize both. So for the texting inside with those auto responses, like you guys have just tried out, we'll purchase a local full 407 area code number that your residents text to. And then for our alert side, we utilize the 5-digit short code number for that.
Which municipalities here in Central Florida are you all dealing with right now?
Yeah, great question. So we're pretty new in the central part of Florida. So I guess closest to you guys, we work with like Lake Hamilton, Zephyr Hills, Pinellas Park just signed in, which is more on the western side. Leesburg are the ones I think off the top of my head.
What type of phones would the system not take? Is it certain like Androids or iPhones, or what type of phones can be accessible to the system?
Did you hear that question, Dale?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. You're good. We're both here, so you're fine. Yeah, great question. Since our program is just using texting, as long as they have any sort of cell phone that they can have a text capability, like they can text people on, they can use the program. So there's no app or anything. So we've had people that have like a flip phone that they text and they can use the program.
Tell me about your security.
Yeah. So I'll bring you over here. This is a good way of bringing it over. So this is our online portal here. So once again, this would be only accessed by the staff members that we designate at the town. It's just, once again, posted on our servers here in Utah, and then we also back it up to the AWS GovCloud. And then for each user in the program, staff-wise, they'll have their own unique username and password to sign in with, just like other online programs. So pretty standard there. For the actual information in the program itself, that is owned by the town, so we don't sell that to any third parties. And you guys will have a record. So like we're fully FOIA compliant. So this log here will keep a record of all texts that come in and out, and then you can download that in case you get a records request.
And can we reverse text with also?
You say like send a message out, or?
Yeah, can we reverse text in case of Amber, hurricane, public safety, we can reverse text?
Correct, yeah. We have our notification side. With our notifications, of course, people do have to opt in. But that is part of the program as well as sending out information. Awesome. Any other questions so far?
Yes, I have a question concerning the cost.
Yeah.
Let's see, it says here that the stand-up fee is $1,500.
Yep.
And the first year is $4,500 for the first year, and annually after that is $3,000.
Correct.
Does that mean that every year we have to renew annually?
Yeah, so we do, I got to look through that quote that you've got. I'll scroll down here so we're all on the same page. So yes, it's an initial 2-year agreement. So that's why we have the first year and then the ongoing cost. And after the 2 years, it goes year to year at that point. And then it's like a 6-day written notice if you want to cancel.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions so far?
Yes, my question is along the lines of Councilwoman Randolph. Instead of it being an automatic renewal, I would like to see that it is we agree year to year. Instead of it being automatic.
For sure. Yeah, that's a good point. Right now, we don't do any terms that are not automatic renewal. We can look at if it's something more comfortable for you guys, we can look at doing like a 1 year that might have an increased cost. But on our end, we do have it set to automatically renew if we're not given prior notice to the program. The issue there is once residents are like signed up and expecting that the program is going to be used, there have been issues like if someone's trying to cancel and the residents are expecting to receive notifications or expecting the program to work. So as of right now, it will auto renew. We haven't made any changes that way.
And you said there's a 30-day notice if we're gonna cancel?
60 written notice. Yeah.
That's.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, any other questions?
The city of Leesburg, they have this program.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'll go over and look
Yeah.
at it.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want us to provide any other references, we absolutely can. What I was going to show next in the program is just kind of a quick overview of like how you do it from the town side of things, how you manage it. And then I'll show you some examples of other places we're working with in Florida and how they're using it. So.
Spencer, I wanted to revisit something that you demonstrated for me in our demonstration session. You had mentioned that this software allows for reporting. For example, when we're talking about public safety, and our police officer or our police department has to be notified, it captures the reporting for us as a town, so we can see, you know, how many crimes or how many residents that we had to go to their homes. Can you kind of talk about the reporting element that comes with this product?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. I'll go into our internal side and just show you this way, and we'll kind of go through that. So here under setup, you have under flows here. So just remember, this is our demo site. So these are all examples. As part of our setup process, you would work with our staff. We would custom make all of these different responses based on what you would like for the town. So you can choose what residents can and cannot report depending on what on. So you got like animal control, for example. If I'm scrolling down here on like our third page, we have like there's like a trash issue or garbage issue that's going on for a resident to text that in. And then of course we can do stuff like code enforcement or like, you know, our water or, you know, roads, all depending on what you guys handle, what you want people to report. How it works in general is the resident texts in their issue, and then our program will walk them through a series of steps. These are just our standard questions. We usually ask for like location, name, and then they can also include like a picture or provide additional information. You guys can change those steps and those questions depending on how you would like it to go. And then once the resident submits the information, our program will take it all, put it into an email. And then depending on what the category is or the department, those issues will go to whoever you select. So if I come up here to categories, I'll show you here. So like here's our code enforcement one. If I click this edit button, you can choose who's going to be the email recipient. And then if you wanted, if they're maybe out in the field and they would prefer getting a text, you could do a text recipient. But either way, it's totally up to you guys on who receives it and how they receive it staff-wise.
We do have another question.
I do.
Yes, so please go ahead.
So there are 25,000 text messages allowed each year.
Yep.
So in a town of what, 2,300 people, that's about 10 text messages per year. Right?
Correct. Yep.
And then after that, we pay an additional $750 for 100,000 text messages, 550 for 50,000. So here's what is the average amount of text? So take your next town that's closest to our population, if you know the populations of the municipalities that you serve. What is the average number of texts made by the citizens, you know?
Yeah, we see an average around your guys' population size of people using about 50% to 80% of their text message allotment per year. The reason is based on a couple of factors. Number one is kind of how much the town would like push out to let people know about the program. Some are more active in their approach and get more people to sign up for like alerts or people to text in. The other thing too, right, is although the population may be 2,300, you know, how many of those are adults? And then, you know, we maybe try to gauge like one per household, something like that. So it all depends too on roughly how many people out of your population you would expect to sign up for the program or engage with the program.
Okay, so there's my other thing. If this number would be on our website, right? So
Yeah.
depending on how many people visit our website for whatever reason, driving through our town, this number will be available to them as well, even though they're not citizens. So even with that, still, what, 5 texts per year average?
Did you understand?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, for sure. It is completely up to you guys on how you market it. So we do require it goes on the website because that is a great way to let people know about it. Now you guys can monitor that too, and you can come in here on my computer again now. So you can go on the dashboard here, you can look at this log that comes in. And if you notice, okay, hey, I'm not recognizing some of these area codes or texting in strange things and just are trying to spam the program, you can come in here and then under the dashboard, you can block a number. So you guys have full ability to do that. And then same thing, if you notice that someone has signed up for notifications, but you're not sure where that number is or whose number that is, you can also remove people from those yourself so that you're not using those. So it's really rare, to be honest with you, that we've seen municipalities under 5,000 population go over their text amount. And the other thing too is if you have extra text messaging each year, they will automatically roll over to the next year. So most of our customers are having a continual amount of text messages that roll over. Yeah.
Spencer, what's the possibility of doing a trial period with our town to see if this product will really benefit us?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, there's not a trial period, unfortunately. We purchase a specific local number for you, and we build out the site and the dashboard, everything custom for you guys. There's unfortunately not a trial period. Once again, all that is factored already in the cost. We purchased the local number without you guys having to pay extra. So right now, it's just the 2 years, and then you can go from there.
That's it for questions.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. We're gonna disconnect.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you. All right, the next item is discussion of renovation of the town hall for safety and aesthetics. This is just coming before you start reviewing. couple of reasons just to provide more security. I know that Councilwoman Randolph had mentioned security just in our meetings, but the day-to-day security up in the front needs to be shored up as well. So I wanted to make certain that, and this is only two of the quotes, we're waiting for at least a third quote to take another look at it. The swivel board and how much it's gonna cost, and to ascertain if it's worth it. Safety is always worth it, but I wanted to get you the information early so you can take a look at it and give you some time to come up with your own suggestions or ideas. If there are no other questions regarding, yes.
Under the security thing, just to gain access to the building, would it be a card or combination?
But right now, what you're looking at, it's a combination. However, the idea of a card, because I know I think someone up in the front, they use a card, definitely something that we can look into instead of a combination.
So if we use a combination, it means that each person will have their own unique combination. The reason that I ask is because if everyone has the same combination to enter the building, and I was keeping basically the employees, we will have no determination as to identify those individuals who are coming in and having access to the building as well as leaving the building. So that was my question for security. So now at times, maybe employees that come here on the weekends, we need to know who's coming in and who's going out of the building. So would that have any impact or works as far as this plan is concerned?
I know the votes now, if we wanted to assign one individual group, that's something that can be done. So I don't see where that would be an issue, whether they use a badge to swipe and that would identify them personally, or if they have their own unique code to enter. And then we have, if we pass the camera system, we have the camera system, the communication happening, that concerns.
So this is just basically dealing with the door issue, right?
This is where those wooden doors are. That's a common entryway for staff. But this will allow those doors, that section to also be a way for citizens to come and pay their bill. You don't always, everyone doesn't have to come through the lobby area. And it also states, once they come through those side where those wooden doors are, to have another security door right there to protect the utility building area. And the staff in the back. So they have access right there to the front. Now the second counter for say utility building. And you come into the main entryway if you want to meet someone at administrative offices or something.
Okay, I noticed that the proposal, usually, it's always good to have at least 3 years. This is the only bid that we have. For $13,000 for what the contractor has to offer. So is this a contractor or subcontractor?
These were these were the contractors, the actual person.
The actual contractor.
And like I said, we're still waiting for a third person.
Does this contractor have a visual photo or picture as to what we're going to be paying for? What is this all about? Because when you just reading this, a door with all of these accessible items that has to be redone over or to be completed for the work. Is there a picture or something that you can show us as to how that will work? I didn't get a picture.
Yes, it's part of the paperwork I did. They, at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you.
That's just a simple rendering. Now, however, this this construction company, we can also get a rendering, a quick rendering from them. Otherwise, they're might be different.
I would like to see some other videos besides this particular project.
So you have two, so you do the third. Any other questions? Seeing that there are no other questions, we're ready for adjournment, so I move that we adjourn. And we'll second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. The meeting is adjourned until 7:30.
Listen to
We have that video from, Plano. There's a 30-second video. You want to start? You sign up to speak? Please. You know what I'm just saying, telephone.
We have about 2 minutes before we get started, so please check your phones and search at
that they are on vibrate or silent before the meeting begins in about 2 minutes. Thank you. I'm sorry.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. About 2 minutes, 7 minutes. Thank you. Look at it more time.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there's
It is 7:30. We are opening up for the Town of Eatonville Town Council meeting, December 6th, 2022. Mrs. King, you have a floor. Please stand for the invocation by Reverend Britton. All have the pledge.
Continue to rejoice, be glad in it. We want to thank you for this community. Eatonville is now good for things to be schools, overseas. We thank you for each resident. We pray that you continue to bless us to live in harmony with one another. We pray that you continue to bless our administration and leadership position for this community. To continue to give them discretion and discernment to make decisions that will be beneficial and advantageous for the community. Again, we thank you for everything you're doing in, through, and for Eatonville. That you continue to bless it and keep it, cause your face to shine upon it, be gracious unto it, and give it the peace. Thank you for this town council meeting, that we can follow me and like and educate on the state and welfare of this community. We again thank you, bless you, and praise you, we have these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. All right, so we'll be moving to the consent agenda item number 2, down to council decisions. So with that change, I move that we approve the agenda. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Everyone, I would like to present to you Mr. Randy Singh. I know that our town can operate and will operate as efficiently as possible. The job is a big one, so it was essential that we bring in someone that was willing to help us tackle it. I'm thankful, Mr. Singh, to Mr. Singh for, oh, there you go, for accepting the challenge, Mr. Singh. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here supporting this town. I just want to let you all know. I report to you all through my boss, the mayor, through this board, and through this community. I'm obligated to you all. I have a huge responsibility on my shoulder to make sure that the operations, the day-to-day operations of this organization is operated in the most efficient manner. And I made my commitment to the mayor when she hired me. I'm going to make a commitment to the board and make this commitment to you all. It's not going to be an easy task. So I ask for patience, but I'm committed to achieving all that I'm sharing with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, board. Thank you, Steve Wall.
Mrs. King, do you have any citizen participation?
Yes, we have several. Our first one will be invited here.
Mayor, before we get started, please have 3 minutes. We have to establish our board. Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, the Association for Girls in the Community. I just want to thank Mayor Gardner for the public meetings that she has held over the last month or so. This is an important first step. The second step, however, is to get an economic analysis, not by someone who really represents the finest of quality in terms of the town of Eatonville. I have 2 minutes and 30 seconds of video that shows a little bit of what has happened over the course of the business.
The plan B.
I want to just say quickly, our main job is to give you good information, accurate information. This land was given over to Orange County Public Schools in the 50s for, quote, the education of Negro children. We want that land returned to the people of Eatonville. This is about economic justice. Economic justice, it's about money. As long as this country exists, as long as the United States of America exists, a viable Eatonville community should exist.
I'm a big radical, so I fight. When I fight with my words, they come out very direct. So some people may not like the way I move, but it's always in good intention of the town and in favor. So I created a petition. Me and Brother John Beecham here, and you know, with the and Kirsten here from the Southern Poverty Law Center, she actually endorsed it and said it was a great idea. Create a petition. We need the signatures. We need thousands. We are sitting on sacred land, and that's the fight.
For us, I hope that one of the things we get out of this is that there is a process, and certain things are more effective at certain parts of the process. This is going to be a hard fight. But one thing you guys have to understand, we have to stay focused. Focus is required in this fight. If we want what we all came here for, we have to stay focused.
And she's absolutely right. We have to stay focused. It is about time, but we can do this. Thank you so much for coming to see this many people out, that really does say something.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
We have Grace, John, and Natasha Lyatt. Lyatt.
Good evening. My name is John Myers, and I own property in Lake Rubber Estate for over 40 years. In 1985, my wife and I built a home there. During this time, every year we tried to have tenants that not only pay the rent, but also a good asset to the community. For the past 2 years, we were having problems with noise coming from the event center. We call the police almost weekly, and they come out and do a great job. They ask people to turn the noise down, because it's right in our backyard. They turn the noise down, and they turn it down, and when the cops leave, they turn it right back up. So my question to the council is, do we have a noise ordinance? And, but we have called and emailed the code enforcement, and we've never got any response. So if there's a noise ordinance, we're requesting that the city enforce it. And I want to make one thing clear, we're not trying to shut anybody down, but there's got to be a happy medium for the people to run their business and for our tenants and other people in the community to have a quiet enjoyment of their homes.
Where's the noise coming from again? I didn't hear.
The event center between on Kennedy Avenue, between Lincoln and Washington. Like here, a bikers club, they had a meeting, that's their clubhouse. And I also hear they rented out to almost anybody for parties or what have you. And the DJ booth sits between the strip mall and the building. It's right in our backyard. And our windows rattle, the doors rattle, and our tenants, they want to leave the city, but we're doing our best to try to let them run their business, but they need to understand that there's got to be a happy medium between how loud they blast the music and for our tenants to have quiet enjoyment of their property, of our property. The address is 411 West Kennedy, Orlando. We just look for what you got there. Call the police officer and come out, and no one would have a code enforcement. They'll get responsible.
I'll make sure you follow. Right. Is there someone else?
Yeah. Candace Finley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Finley, I'm a Eatonville resident. I live in the district. As I stated, I live in Eatonville, but my address is considered Maple. I find that pretty unusual because when it comes to benefiting the town and helping the town thrive, this is why I moved here. A backup story about me, I grew up in the summer program here. It helped me find an interest in science. I became a scientist and eventually came back here to try to provide service to the town. Knowing that my address is Maitland, I noticed when we talk about houses as far as, down the street from the Eatonville house could be sold for $225,000, but because my house is considered Maitland, it could be sold for $300,000, $350,000. In the end, I'm starting to notice there are more houses that are being built that are turning into Eatonville houses. There's a house that's across from the Eatonville Tower, the water tower. which is in the historic part, which is in the original part of Eatonville, and it's considered native. So I'm wondering, based on the decision of the land that we have over here, what is gonna happen being in close proximity to a mixture of homes? Some of them Eatonville, where they're priced a certain rate, some of them are Maitland, they're priced a certain rate. Again, it's peculiar to me because my mortgage taxes go to Maitland, my insurance goes to Maitland. Okay, the only thing that goes to Eatonville is the water bill. So with that being said, I'm not sure how I was here. In so many words, I came here to thrive. I came here to build generations in the home I have. I'm not here to be bought out. I'm not here to be in the middle of the buying out or whatever is happening, but I'm here to thrive. So again, the decisions that you guys are going to be making on the town for the land, please make it sound. Please make it for the town itself. Make it for the town. Get the emotions out of it, get whatever is behind selling it. Because right down the road, we have a Tesla, $615 billion industry. And yet 14 million or 7 million or whatever the number is, it doesn't match to $615 billion. It's being marketed that way because they know the land can be bought here cheap. Because we don't know them. They're not going to Winter Park where land is expensive. They're coming right here where they can change the name of the city. They can also buy the land cheap. I just, again, please think clearly. It happened around Hunger first been moved over from this side to the other side. Everything is strategically been done to try to set up to take it away. Think clearly.
Okay, we have Betty Howard. Betty.
Good evening. To my mayor, to all the city councilors. First thing is thank you all for Thanksgiving. Baskets, bags that you gave the time for Thanksgiving. And I really appreciate that. The reason I'm here tonight, one reason I'm here tonight, I live in Carolyn Park. And we are a close-knit group that brings in industry. I'm bored. I live alone. And for the last 3 months, it started 3 months ago. My water is extremely high. Looking good. Yeah. She cannot talk to me, but something needs to be done. And I was thinking of bringing before council and the mayor, y'all can figure out something. But there ain't no way that I live alone. The first one was 86, it started 3 months ago. And then I got a bill for $123. And then I got a third bill for $121. My water bill is almost much of my life. And I know y'all have the government, something y'all can do. I can need it, I don't have no leaks. I had all the pipe inspected in June, but I had reading the homeowner's insurance. So something has happened. I don't know what it is, but something is very wrong. And you know how old people get. I want to get to the bottom of it. I cannot continue to pay $100 for water. I just can't do it. I just want to bring it for you all tonight. Maybe between you all, y'all can figure out what should be done. I think community should be in place. That's not good. I don't know what that is kind of stuff, but it got to be something that I need. Thank you very much.
Then we have Michelle Ford.
Mayor, I do chief administrator, officer, town council, and of course
for choosing Mr. Singh. I think that any of us want the best for our town. And if we gotta have surgery, we want the best. So I'm glad that this council decided to do it for us. With that being said, the last meeting, we went over the auditor's report about the town's financial health. So that's one of my questions. So my first question is to Mr. Singh. What is the town's true financial health? What is our net position? Because there's a couple of statements in this report. The government-wide financial analysis states, in the case of the town, assets plus deferred outflows of resources exceeds liabilities and deferred inflows. So I'm concerned about that also. It says the town net position is $920,000 $421, but it exceeds the liabilities what's being paid out. The other concern that I have is a couple of them. But this one says, although the town's fund balances and cash flow are well below desired level. And then it draws me to, let me go online and look at our budget. When you look at the budget, it doesn't show what was actually spent. It just shows you do a budget for 2021, then you do a budget for 2022, but what is being spent? And I agree with a lot of things that's being said. Our town has never had a strategic plan. If you're going on a trip, we need a map. We don't have a map for our budget, so we don't see nothing being done in this town. And I'm looking to this council, and especially to our chief administrator. With him being able to do what he has done for Orange County government, then he should be able to do what they did for us. So we need a strategic plan. We need to know our financial health, because if we're saying we want the office, then we maintain it. And that was the problem in 1950. We could not maintain it. Our financial stability in this town, it's scary. When you read the report, I had to go to Google, that's my best friend, and YouTube. When you look at our numbers, our water and sewer fund has been a deficit, and a lot of members have been sitting on this council. I'm not throwing no things, because I was at the meetings too. And we have been running money in the town. Our water and sewer fund has been below rates for years. So what I'm asking the council and our administrative officer, I know that we're gonna have to suck in our bill. There's gonna be some things we can do and we can't do. So what are you expecting from the citizens? And what should we expect from our council to take this serious? From the report that says 2017, nothing has changed. We get new policies, but nothing is put into place. We should not, as citizens, come out to tell our council, look at the report. Thank you for your time.
We have a member of the public that lives at 361 White Oak Circle. It did not provide anything.
Good evening. We have an opportunity here to shine the light and make a wrong a right. Exodus tells us about if Jacob is the new king of the story about Joseph, Abraham, he would have did things differently. And so when we look at what happened here in Eatonville today, the story is not about OCPS, the story is not about the developer, the story is about you, mayor, you council, that people are not very happy with you. They're not happy with the decision that you were making for the town. I've talked to several citizens on my campaign walk. They're not happy with you, Ms. Gardner, Ms. Randolph, because they said that you flip-flop. You tell your constituents that you work one way, and when you come here, you go another way. And they're fine with these two guys right here because they voted no for that development. We're not ready for that development. They're not happy with it, and I respect both of the brothers over there. They're not happy with your decision, guys. How could you, what happened tonight, the reason they put deed restriction on their property is because those poor Negroes wasn't equipped, didn't have the brain power. That's why he put deed restriction. He was gonna operate, he was gonna protect those guys from the grave. The day we're here in like this, in 2022, we have this, we're facing the same decision. You guys are gonna make the same mistake. We want our land back. That's our first step. We don't want this. The development is not, it's going to create crime, it's going to create water and sewage, it's going to increase the police protection. It's going to do things that we're not prepared for. We just got a city administrator We need to figure things out for a while. We need to slow it down, but more importantly, that we need to listen to people. These people have put their faith and trust in you. So you can go down in history this year if you do the right thing. You get mad and think about it, but when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm gonna know for myself that I did the right thing. I'm not gonna do it because something's just not good enough. Teresa Jacobs said that she has nothing to do with it anymore. It is the town council, the town government has agreed with everything she said. She said there has been no pushback. So the deal is between you and the developer, and Orange County Public School Board is the third party. Do the right thing. Don't let those people that are dead right there in that Eatonville cemetery down. Don't let your grandma down. Your grandma wouldn't vote for this. It's a bunch of bullshit, honestly. It's the flim game. It's the okey doke, old school to go. But I think that you guys are bright enough and intelligent enough to make the right decision, and together as a town of Eatonville, we can do the right thing. But please, guys, think about it. Use your wisdom. Pray to God. Use God as your vehicle. If the new king would have known the story, he would have made things different. You have to seek the story. It's easy for me to walk away because I could be defeated, but God told me to say, tell them the story. Tell the story.
We have Julian Johnson.
All right. Good evening. Julian Johnson. Mayor, Council, citizen. Just wanted to put something together real quick. All of us know the late great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for his civil rights activism, but what was he truly killed for? Anybody know? Dr. Martin Luther King started the ban of reparations. When he started the ban of reparations, because he knew that civil rights was not the only thing that he could fight for. That will free the African people in America. That wouldn't get us out of poverty. So when he demanded reparations, he said at the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away trillions of acres of land in the West and in the Midwest, which meant that it is willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with the economic floor. But not only did they get the land, they built the land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expenses in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. And not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm. And they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself up by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are facing with now. This is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we're coming to get our check. Dr. Martin Luther King was killed before he got to Washington because of that speech. And I want y'all to know, back in the 50s, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, the great Dr. Mary Bethune, she offered to buy the Hungerford property where she promised an agricultural center, where they're going to teach students agricultural skills and turning that land into dairy, vegetable, and chicken farms. That offer was later denied in the Florida Supreme Court because they believed that private schools for Negroes was no longer needed. This is the same government that MLK talked about, but instead they took our land, they sold it for profit all of those years, took the deed restrictions off, sold it for profit, and made millions of dollars and left our community out to be pretty much economically deprived. That's why you don't see growth. Land, every revolution is fought over land. So when you take the land away from the people, they have nothing to do. There's so many things you can rent the land out, you can lease the land out. Why sell it? It doesn't make sense. So I'm just here to say, for years, the town council, the citizens, they said, y'all turned y'all back on it. We went door to door in Eatonville, and they said the town council turned their back because none of them know what's going on. And the new grassroots organizations are working tirelessly to inform the citizens and people around the world. People around the world are voting on our petition, but Orange County they put y'all on the map pretty much. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a good night. But we come to get our land back.
I believe this might be a duplicate, John Lyon. We have Angela Johnson.
Mayor, council members, fellow residents, I too would like to welcome you, Mr. Singh, as our administrative officer. Looked a lot at your background, so a number of things that have been stated. Will hopefully not be many of these tonight, but obviously with the financial background myself, there has been always a great concern with the financial condition of the town. Some of the things that we've heard are some basic general accounting issues. So hopefully there will be some corrections on that. One thing that I would like to, I think we've heard it reiterated a number of times tonight, that there is no response to citizens. So I'm not sure what type of process will be put into place. I mean, I've talked to you different individuals sitting in here tonight that say that they call you, they text you, they email you without any response. And I'm not going to say that that's true for all of the members sitting there, because I do know that there is one council person that will email you in the middle of the night, and I appreciate that. My concern about one of the items on the agenda tonight is the installation and upgrading of the town's security system. And also early in the workshop, we were talking about the security and making changes to some of the doors and stuff. This building is falling apart, period. Why are we patching it? Look at the economies of scale if you look at the total capital improvement program for the administrative building. So one of the things that has happened over the last couple of years that we see you sitting here in is that we touch piece by piece by piece by piece, but instead of looking at things in totality and coming up again with what was stated earlier, a strategic plan. A strategic plan that may come out of a planning retreat for you all, which I have, that has been mentioned a number of times, that still hasn't been addressed. Some of the things that I think you guys talk about that you go back and forth on may be able to get worked out. We know that the revenue fund, the water and sewer fund, should be a profit-making fund. I understand that residents live on limited budgets, but without an increase to the water and sewer rates, we will not be able to sustain our systems, guys. It's going to be a hard sell for some of you, but it has to happen. Without knowing what our systems are, the status of our systems, we cannot continue with the massive amount of construction and development. We've got to know the status of our town, our assets, and whether or not they are able to sustain the growth that we are facing. And then the last thing that I would bring to your attention is, please pay attention to the comments that came back from the water management district comment that came back from the transmittal of the large scale plan of visit.
There are no more.
All right, thank you, everyone. So we're ready for the approval of the second reading of an administrative request to adopt the required property rights element to the town of Eatonville comprehensive plan by ordinance 2022-6 of the town of Eatonville. You need to read it again?
Yes. Ordinance 2022-06, an ordinance of the town of Eatonville, Florida. Ordinance 2022-06, amending the text of the town's comprehensive plan to include a private property rights element as required by general law, providing for transmission, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
All right, I'm going to turn the floor over to Ms. Mary.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, board members, and the community. My name is Tara Salmieri. I'm a town planner. Oh, yeah, really great. This item, as the town clerk has read, is part of the transmittal. Just as a quick reminder of what this is. In September 20th, the council voted to transmit the private property rights element for the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan got reviewed by 6 different agencies, and then they submit their comments. And there were really only 2 comments that were made on this new element in the comprehensive plan. One was the actual language in the goals, objectives, policies was to state land use and zoning matters. And the request from DEO is to strike land use and zoning matters to local decision making. That's consistent with the Florida statute. And probably about a year ago, DEO was accepting that, but they're making a recommendation to be exact in what the statute is. So that was their recommendation, and that's before you tonight on whether you will support that change. The second item of the comments was the St. John's Water Management District. They really had no comments to the private property rights element, but they took the opportunity to state that the town has not been in compliance for about 18 months of the water supply plan that needs to be updated. So they're just putting the town on notice. They've contacted the town a few times as a result of having those comments. We reached out to CPH, which is the town engineer, and they have, I think they've drafted some text for the administration to review so that the water supply plan can be into compliance. So, next slide. So this is just to highlight, it's super small, but that little yellow area is the local decision making. That's the text that they, the DEO recommended to change. It's in chapter 13, the private property rights element. It moves from the planning term to the local decision making. And that's really all of the comments that were had. So tonight before you is to determine whether or not you want to move forward with the second reading to confirm the property rights element inclusion into your comprehensive plan. And then we'll send that back to the state. And once the state has that, there'll be 45 days of a wait period for anyone to contest the element being put in. I'm available for any questions.
Does council have any questions from the summit? There being none. Hearing committee, the first time. So with that being said, I move that we approve ordinance 2022-6 of the town of Eatonville, amending the text of the town's comprehensive plan to include a private property rights element.
Consistent with the changes.
Consistent with the changes stated. It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordinance 2022-6 passes. Thank you so much. Next item on the agenda is, before we go to the next item, I do want to take a quick liberty here. Item B under public hearing was, the agenda was amended by the mayor. Agendas have been amended in the past. However, after amending the agenda, it going out, Attorney Shepherd did his job to let me know that we can't do it. He stated that the proper way to amend the agenda once it has been noticed to the public is to wait until it comes to the meeting today and then table the item if the board or the council so chooses. So I did not know that until I had gotten the email. it still would have posed, so I'm apologizing to this council because it was not done intentionally. Like we just said in a CRA meeting, the agenda was amended. You know, so it's, when do you amend, when do you not amend, when it's okay, when it's not okay, but I apologize. And as I stated before, that is not something that I expected to do again, because that was not my intention. And to let you know why, there are a couple of things. Denton Johnson Center, for those of you that may have rented it out, some of you got canceled because it had damage. I was still gonna try to have the meeting there because we have people out here. This is not sufficient. That was the first thing. The second thing is after the agenda was sent out, I did go to the Tuesday. There are people there for the Hungerford property, there are people there against it, and there are people in the middle. But what got me were the faces that I'd seen in the meeting that I haven't seen for a while. That makes a difference. That says that the citizens are concerned. And one of the voices, some of the voices just ask for more time. So for those that were for the Hungerford property, more time is not gonna hurt. For those that don't know and just coming for more information, more time wasn't gonna hurt. But for those that really wanted to express their rights and fight whatever they want to fight, 12-6 matters because it starts another clock. So it wasn't for any other reason, but for the voices of the people. And even if we did wait and table it now, we still would have an issue with capacity. So going forward, I will make certain that I do it right now that I know I have been reprimanded. So I do want to apologize. The next item is the consent agenda. We moved item 2 down to council decisions. Under the consent agenda, there's approval of council meeting minutes for November 15th, 2022. A motion to approve the consent agenda for item 1. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Again, a consent agenda has been approved. Now down to council decisions, approval of Surveillance Plus LLC for the install and upgrade of the town hall security system. Unless you have any questions regarding the installation, this package was put together by Ms. Williams before she left. So some of your questions, if it's something we need to table and come back, then depending on what your questions are. The floor is-
So I think security is.
Wait, so do you want me to move it first, or does it matter if we move it, discuss it, or?
It hasn't been moved.
It has to be-
It hasn't been moved.
So go ahead and discuss, because if we don't need to move it, then.
So my recommendation is gonna be that we table this. Ms. Johnson actually brought up points that I was going towards. If we're talking about doing improvements, we need to make sure, because we start putting up stuff and then the improvements come when we come and try to add on. And also I want to make a suggestion. Have we thought about going in with ADT, who provides cameras, who can do the mad stripes and all that stuff with the doors to give us a complete system than paying out $7,000 and then they have to come back. So I think security is a must be done, but I would like to table this matter to get all the pieces together. Yeah, but I think a lot of stuff is councilman is outdated. It's antiquated. Most security systems now are cloud-based where you can do all kinds of functionalities from it. But then we're talking about doing capital improvements. We need to wait till the capital improvements, but not when we come back and say, okay, add cents on here to do this, do that.
System plan is updated.
long has the system been there? That's kind of.
So,
It's, I can't really, you just have to connect with them.
well, let me interject. I think we have more going on than.
But, okay,
Okay.
I don't want to discuss
All
too
right,
much,
thank you.
but that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Okay, I think.
Answer questions, please. These two companies, are these companies or the companies that we're present?
I believe the second one, not Surveillance Plus, I'm not familiar with them, but I am with the second one.
Advanced cable.
Real.
That's not, no, I'm only, with the one single page.
Third one.
Gotcha. All right, anything else? This I will say, if we wait until the right time, we do need, I do agree with the comprehensive approach to getting surveillance and cameras upgraded and all of that, but if we wait until a capital improvement plan is established and then executed and carried out, then, and we wait till we get all the money to get that done, then we still are sitting in a situation that needs to be corrected right now. So I definitely agree that it should be tabled and we look at something that can be installed and removed. But to do nothing is not acceptable right now. And when we, to do nothing would not be acceptable.
So is the current system working? Is it operable right now?
If you would allow Mr. Singh to speak with you about it later on.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so is everyone in favor of tabling the item?
And we take it to next, I think we can do this within 2 weeks. I mean, it's not like that. I think it can be done within 2 weeks, or we just need to really look at it. As I had a conversation with Singh earlier, that we are doing a lot of patchwork instead of just doing it right the first time, so we don't have to keep expending money.
All right, so the motion is on the floor to table item number 2, approval of surveillance. It's been moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So we're ready for reports. Mr. Singh, do you have any reports?
Just to share with the board, in the second week, last week, I'm doing a thorough evaluation of the work chart, looking at finances, and looking at internal controls. I want to commit to this board. I've already had this conversation with the mayor, and based on some of the directives that she has placed under my responsibilities to make sure I share with the board on a frequent basis, on a quarterly basis, financial health of this organization. News might not be good, but I'll be honest with you. And I intend to bring solutions, not just problems. And those solutions might require some courage. So that's my report, to let you know I am in the process of doing those evaluations. And I'll be coming back to you with that. And I've heard some of the comments from the citizens regarding the financial conditions. Audit. I take those seriously. I'm a finance person myself. And I think there's solutions. We can get where we need to be. It's going to be a long time.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Town attorney?
Thursday morning, he and I are going to meet to discuss priorities. Obviously, he's going to set them, I'm going to give him input as to what I've seen. And, for example, we said this before, I'm going to, so the idea is that function, not from a land use perspective, we have to have care for that, but from a look at the overall government and say, okay, what do we need to do to get us from a place where we are now to the next level? Financial soundness, positive cash flow, all the things that we need to do. I know he's the guy to do it, and I'm going to be here for this game, so we're going to start that on Thursday.
Thank you. Councilman Martin.
Good evening, everyone, citizens, board. Thank everybody for coming out. First off, I want to give my condolences to Mr. Thomas Pearson and his family. Thanksgiving was a great success in the town of Eatonville. Many organizations and individuals came together to oversight and just show thankfulness of the town and the residents. So that brings me to my point tonight. And thank everybody for the community meetings with the mayor and the comments on tonight and all that. There's something called due process. Due process. Everybody is entitled to due process. If you have your ordinance and your regulations and stuff in order, you have due process. In legal, you have due process. So let me answer some of your questions tonight. You said, why did I vote? And that was a bad picture of me also. But you asked, why did I vote the way I voted for the first passing? Because the project is due process. There's always a second reading. So for all those individuals that's run around and don't understand the process, you cause discord. And if you're not walking in one accord, you cause discord. People say, okay, this property, the property is actually in control of the school board, believe it or not. The school board controls it, not the town of Eatonville, but the school board. So they are the ultimate decision maker. Since 2004, if everybody said 2004, we've had 79 audit problems in the audit. We've been under oversight since 2004. 18 years later, we're still on oversight. Now watch this. If we had our stuff in order, we could have went out and possibly got loans and grants and all other kind of things to purchase the property. But forever and a day, people have been doing the wrong thing. I'm gonna address a couple other things. I'm not gonna call the organization's name or saying sold out, received money. Marlon Daniels haven't received any money. The only money I get is the money that's given to me by you as a resident, which is roughly $500 a month. Marlon Daniels has a good job, has an MBA, and gets money from the government for being a veteran who served this country. So Marlon Daniels don't need to take money from a developer or anybody. But there has been organizations and people within our own community who has exploited us and took advantage of us. They are the ones who imploding this town. Imploding. Imploding means you're doing it from within, not outward bound, from within. So I tell everybody today to take a self-reflection and think about what's going on. Let's stop the discord and let's come together on one accord to get to a common cause. That's what we need to stand at. And that's my report.
Councilwoman. Thank you very much for coming. I want to say that we did very good. Everyone did a very good job. We came out to include Thanksgiving holiday, our families and community success. Appreciate everyone for your dedication and what they have done. And I'd like to say that I know you all have a lot of concerns. I get information that the council members was selling the town out. That is not true. We have a heart. I do have a heart about what goes on in this town. And I do care about what's going on in this town. Whatever decision that I make, or however I vote, and I have the right to change my mind if I want to. That's my privilege, and that is my right as your elected official. My job is to make sure that we move on and that we'll be able to be sovereign and solid for the next decade coming. So that way we can have a legacy. We're talking about legacy and about your heritage and your culture. What is your heritage and what is your culture? we are the ones that's gonna have to tell the story to our children, our grandchildren. How do we do that? We do that by educating our people about who we really are. Some of us don't even know who we really are. The other issue here, and that is, we heard tonight, we heard in the previous meeting about the audit report, all of the negatives that we have financially. How are we ever gonna accomplish to be ahead like some of the other surrounding cities? If we're gonna continue to stay uninformed, backwards, not working together as a community and coming together to resolve resolutions and things to make this town better. Rather than posting 3 pictures up on a bulletin board to try to sabotage 3 council members, that doesn't show that you're trying to work together. You say you want to work together, let's get together at the table and discuss some issues that's going to make this town a better town. It's time out, Eatonville, for nonsense and foolishness. We have had a difficult time since I've been here to try to get qualified people to come and work for our town. There's lots of comments from other people. They do not want to come here. Mr. Singh can give you a whole story. He knows people all over the state of Florida, very prominent people in high places. They probably think that he's a fool for coming here. But with his knowledge and skills and things that he can bring to the table to pull us out of this problem, this rut that we're in, and it hasn't been fixed. But we are determined to fix the problems that we have here in this town. We want to make sure that Eatonville be here not only another 130 some old years, we want it to be here another 500 years. So let's get on board, everybody, and let's do the right thing and let's work together. If there's something that you want, let's work with the developers. It's their money, not yours. And that's one of the things that we have to make sure that we understand. These people are spending money, okay? I don't have any control about what the school board decision is going to be or anything like that. Eatonville never owned the property in the begin with. So we talk about giving the land back. That has to be a process that has to be worked with through the Orange County School Board, not the town of Eatonville. What we deal with is ordinances, zones, your comprehensive plan. If you don't like it, let's change it. Okay? So you have that authority to bring that before the council so that way you can see what you want in your town. The next issue, and that's so much for that. We have a lane attorney for the Hungerford property, Mr. Tom Wills. Whatever happened to him? We haven't heard from Mr. Wills. I think it's very important. I asked Mr. Singh to reach out to him to see if there's anything, any possibility, anything that we can do for the town that's in the best interest of what we need to do here in the town. I'm not going to sell this town down. I'm not going to sell this town down by no means. I want it to be self-sustaining. Everybody, Winterpop, Maitland, Passivary, Apopka, everyone has moved on. We're like an egg. Everything around us is white, and we're the yolk in the middle. We haven't gone anywhere. It's just like a fried egg. That's what we're looking at. So let's move together. Also, I want to say that the MLK, I haven't heard much information about MLK. I had mentioned several times ago about having a roster place to add on to the activities, so that way there'll be other things to do other than a parade. But I thought about the town and I thought about the conditions that we're in until we can get things together. And I think we can all work together to have something that's going to be very enjoyable and have a great parade. We have been so well respected in so many years at the type of activity and the quality parade that we put on. So I want to make sure that as far as my position, that I don't put any more on the staff than what they have to. And maybe next time come up with a proposal so we can have an MFA committee like we used to do back in the day. And I see some of you ladies and some of you men that was right here during the time that we had a committee planning these kind of activities, and they were quality activities in our town. Also, I want you to know that I did visit Lake Western Apartments down here. There's a lot of residents and citizens that have been wondering what's going on, because now they see another development going on, which is Enclave. But I did visit the Lake Western project on Kennedy Boulevard, and it seems to be going with a lot of force as far as getting that completed. Also, the Eatonville Supreme Senior Citizens, I have an event here, and Mayor, you can probably elaborate on this a little later on, but they are having an event here on Saturday. They want everyone to come out from noon to 3 o'clock here at the town of Eatonville. And the mayor has given the organization approval to go forth with the Christmas clothing giveaway. So they will have free food and drinks for everyone. So come out and show your support. Also, I want to thank everyone very much. Thank the residents for all that you have done. And believe me, I do have your comments. A lot of you all will take that under close review. And I want to thank you very much. And also, last but not least, St. Lawrence AME Church. I want to say that we have a new minister. His name is David Bradley. He's been our new minister now for pastor about the church for the last 2 weeks. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of it. I want to thank you very much for your help and your support. The St. Lawrence and Ms. Kim Elbert as far as feed the community. Thank you very much, and God bless each and every one of you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
We did have a chance to get this structure back in the day. And what she left, she said, we should have given this town back that property. Other than that meeting, they should be home with this. And two boys own the property while we part of this process. If they own, they don't need us. So we are a big part of this property. But if they own that right, then we talk about what we want to do now. Phillips, we talk about that guy there, did get no good information. He found a good deal from the work he had built, but he worked for the work he had built. And we represent us. I didn't like that from the work he had built. So we must understand, we need to have that property in hand. You see what's going on now. We don't have nothing. We don't have a gym. We don't have a football field. We don't have a walking trail. We don't have no kind of entertainment for outdoor events. And other cities does. And we talk about other cities all the time, what they budget, what they do, what this is what we need out there. One place. I don't need no apartments, I don't need no housing, I don't need no water. We got that down there, some of that's going on. Unclaimed, that's another issue that they come to the board, planners on the board here. There's no they want down there. So I don't know who expecting that. I don't know. They work at ants, so they know they're doing something wrong, but if they still doing something. That project, I definitely not agree with that project. So my main thing is this: we need to look at what we need for our city, not what people want to give us, what we want. That's it. So what on the property? Why it's on our agenda every week or whatever? They were done what they want to do. So we got to be part of this. I think we got 99% of what they do with that property. 99%. So if you look at that, at this board, and don't let our forefathers down, because like one gentleman said, they put on the grade right now for the deed restriction that we took off. That's why I'm just thinking about this thing. So that was like.
Good evening, everyone. I guess I gotta start off by apologizing for Bessie Johnson not doing her job right. I guess to instill loyalty and pride in me and my community. The community where I grew up and ran down those dirt streets. The community where I went to Oakville Missionary Baptist Church first. I was taught by Deacon Beachman. I guess I gotta apologize that she didn't do a good job of instilling this pride and you know, be grateful and thankful for how you were brought up. There was a time that I could walk across Kennedy, come from Macedonian Mission. The church had a kindergarten. I was able to walk from there, stop off as I usually say at the gas station, say hi to Mr. Kirk, then walk across my street and wait for my grandma to come home. Those were the good old days. Those are the things that she instilled in me that I wanted to raise my kids here. I wanted to bring my family back here. And I did that at about 23 years old. Made a couple of bad financial decisions. I lost that house. So I went pillaring around, but it was something in my spirit and my soul that said, you got to go back to Eatonville. But that's where you're from. That's where your roots are. That's where you want to bring your kids up. So now I'm on my second house in the historic town of Eatonville. It hurts me to my soul that apparently I didn't do a great job with my friends, that none of them called me to say, hey, Ron, let's discuss what you got going on with the comprehensive plan. None of them. They called to say, hey, let's have a powwow. Let's go to lunch. Let's talk. Talking about good friends, church friends, talking about family members, that family like this. But you get up and you talk. And number one, I want to say respect the seat. I did not run with Marlon Daniels. I ran on my own accord as Rodney did. So when you get up here and I hear people saying the Daniels brothers, it's really insulting to me. He ran on his ticket, I ran on mine. He has different views, I have. I like mine, you like Florida State. So those differences go the same way. So we don't agree on everything. So I'm offended that you would say, you know, the Daniels brothers and your grandma raised you better. She did. She did. And it, like I said, it just hurts to think that, you know, you get a picture put up, you know, saying that, you know, you sound, and you hear it, you know, I'm at Costco, and speaking of Costco, you're saying the organization that was right here down the street, where I used to work in the tire shop and had to be there at 10 o'clock, get up at 9:30 to be able to make it to it. But an organization, I think PEC, fought them because I was in management at the time. And they said, we gotta move. I said, why did y'all move? That was right there. He was almost at the precipice of making $1 million a week. They said, Rob, we wanted to put that on-ramp there so that we can get the traffic off here, but that organization, and we had to move. 3.5, I think, miles later, they're at what, about 4 or 5 million a week. Revenue that we could have been using in our town, providing jobs. Because we've had a lot of individuals that had the opportunity to go and work for Costco. I've been there 30-some years. Great company. But if it wasn't right here in Eatonville, I don't think I ever would have applied. There's a lot of things going on in this atmosphere and everything going up here that they want us to fight. I think that it could be a win-win situation for everybody. I really do. Do I agree with this administration always? No. But when we up here, it's just like this guy right here. We are best of friends when we up here. These are my friends right here, my best friends because I love this town. And I think sometimes y'all take that for granted or just think that I'm just up here just to get a check. It's far from the truth. My roots are here. And I love it so much that I lost the house, moved around a little bit, and came back. What's your story? Are you here? Are we sharing the water? Same when my water go off, does your water go off? But we can get up and talk all that junk, but I pay my property taxes. Me, and I think Ryan Novak, he can talk to me because he came and bought a house. My white brother came and bought a house in the town of Eatonville. He believed in Eatonville, and he saw a great deal, and he came. I think that we can make this the Mecca. I keep saying it. I think we can make this the Mecca, the next Black Wall Street, if we work together and get the right people in place. Just to say, well, be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't a fan. It was just because of the funding. I didn't think that we were able to afford it at the time, but 4 other people thought so. So guess what? You're here. So now we got to work together to see where our visions can come together, to see where everyone is always saying that you can, you know, help the town out. You know, I look forward to that because I'm not that dumb. I'm not the smartest up here, but I'm not the dumbest. I think that if you got somebody that has resources, let's use them. And if you're here to help, and it's your stepping stone to help you, somebody else in here, then hey, let's do that. Let's let that happen. All right. Attorney, we said, and I don't think people understand, we got people up here thinking that the property is ours, that we can go ask. If it was that simple to go ask Orange County, give us the land. They would have done it a long time ago.
don't know why people don't understand that. They could have sold the property and not even included us. I think they understand that it wasn't, it was a strong arm or whatever they did, whatever happened back in the day happened. They got the land. They did. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. But they own the land now, and they included us in on, hey guys, we're gonna bring this in. You want us to work together and see what we can get. Some call it Delta. If they want 10 and they pay 14, we get the overage. I want people to stop realizing that we can go make Orange County School Board ask them for land. They like they're not going to do it. If so, they would have did it a long time ago. Cat Williams tried it. I agree with Councilman Washington, but I guess she was outvoted. The main thing is probably why she was outvoted because of that almighty dollar. The almighty dollar is probably why they won't have a good conscience and give it back. So now what we got to do is find that win-win situation to work with them to get what we want on that land. And trust me, I do understand that, you know, having too many apartments, we want single family homes, that's what we want. Let's go to the table and tell people what we want. Let's make it happen. But you better give us some grocery store. You better give us some eateries. You better give us some other business coming in, not only residential, because we're trying to thrive. We're trying to get our revenue streams up. So let's work together and make this happen. And please, I keep saying it again, for the record, attorney, they own the land, we don't. So it's not a partnership. They're in total ownership. They don't have to include us in on anything. We follow the race of their heart, hoping they will give back what they want. So let's move forward. Let's work together, folks. Just a couple more things, and I'm gonna be out. There's a company digging back down there now. I would like for administration to tell me, have they fulfilled their obligation from the last water break they had? I keep seeing people down there. I got a call from a resident, said they're digging again. So I'm hoping that they aren't going to hit any more lines, and that I hope that they satisfy the other two water breaks that we've had. And I hope they resolve those issues. Number two, if it's possible, Ms. Clerk, may I have the correspondence in the last month of the mayor and the planner, and the mayor and Attorney Shepherd, please, if that's possible. And just like everyone else, I would like to give my condolences also to Mr. Tommy Dixon. I wish that we had this room and this outcry when this mentally challenged man's home was purchased. Where was the outcry then? You saying, well, Ron, how do you know? Because when I used to work at high school, he used to come by. And as I was mountain tires, I knew something was up because he came by every day to fight. When he said, yeah, we had to go down there and get him. And I said, Tommy, go get what? You had to shuttle people, we had to go down there and get them. That's when the shuttle blew up many years ago. I knew something was wrong. So when I heard about this purchase of this home, I'm like, where's the outcry? And I'm going to personally make sure that we give the heirs, whoever his descendants are, that they get that land back. Because Tommy wasn't in his mental capacity to sell that. So we did him a disservice. And I agree with my Councilman Washington when he said we got it before an investor got it. I agree, Councilman Washington, but we should have got it to give it back to him or figure out a way where his family can get it back and not just take it from him and have it for us. That was number three. Number four, I want to say, Pastor Creighton, I want to say happy anniversary. We didn't get you a pastor appreciation, and you do a great job. This man knows the word, and it was an honor to be at your appreciation. I'm hoping that we can maybe get a resolution or something. I know it's passed, but maybe we can say, thank you for your service, to the ministry. Last, Ms. King, I want to thank you as well. We've had some great resolution writers when it comes down to funerals. You and Ms. Williams, you guys did an excellent job. But this last one you did, the family got it. And you didn't even know this guy, but everybody, she didn't even know this guy. And the way she put that resolution, that death resolution together, made the family cry. And so it was one of those proud moments to say, yeah, she works for the historic town of Eatonville, and I just want to say thank you. And hopefully I can show my appreciation, but that you didn't even know this guy. You made the family cry from the resolution. So I want to say thank you. I'm not a bad guy. I want to publicly apologize to you. We got off on the wrong foot. And I just think I don't like to be talked to in a certain way, so that lunch date that you wanted to have, I have to check my schedule, but I'm willing to do it because I want to work. We may not be the best of friends, and we ain't gonna ride motorcycles and go get a beer or nothing.
Oh, wait, don't take that away from me. I saw you pass me on the motorcycle just the other day.
So I want to say to this board and to this crowd that I publicly apologize for our thing, and you know, we'll work that out. Folks, we got a long way to go. We're gonna get there. I trust it. I believe in my town. I'm sorry it takes so long, but I'm passionate about this town. About up here, I'm not just up here for a check. I want you to make a difference, and let's get us on the map. Have a great night. I'm sorry it takes so long.
Reverend, sorry. Happy anniversary again. I do appreciate your being here every week to give the word. Great. So, and I'm like Vice Mayor, we'll take care of that. Condolences not only to Mr. Vincent's family, but to every family that loses someone. That is always going to be with us. I think I have found the pipes location. I found the book, just in getting organized, and it does have streets and pipes. So we're going to make certain, if that is the case, then when your water, or if there is a water break, we should be able to go to that area and cut the water, or at least find the valves. Thank you to the residents for voicing your thoughts. I've always been an advocate for residents waking up. I wish you were here marching. But now that you are awake, please stay awake. Not just to this meeting or the next meeting, but every meeting. Because every decision made, it affects all of us, including us. So please stay awake. Capital improvements take money. Even if we do not have impact fees in place, which we do need them. Developer agreements, next. We have been stopped. It's a horrible developers agreement. That's in the past. Hopefully moving forward, that we listen to one another. Because the alarm bells were ringing. We just have to listen. MLK is being coordinated by Ms. Robinson. Ms. Robinson has some experience, but it's new. I did reach out for some of the experience, but with all their duties, they thought that would be too much. So the MLK parade is moving along, and all the steps that were followed, she's following the steps based on your guidance. So I think that we'll be able to pull it off. Will it be the best? I don't know, but if it's not, we will make sure the next time it is. Because we do deserve it. The company did, I'm not sure, I'll give it Mr. Singh regarding what company that is. And this last thing is important. Administrative duties. Everything administrative runs through chief administrative officer, middle name, administrative. That Monday turkey giveaway, I had nothing to do with staff doing it. Someone directed me to do it. Staff are called, staff are given directions to do things. That is violation. And that causes confusion. And the staffers sometimes can be intimidated. Not that you're trying to be, but you got all kinds of messages. So please leave, and I'm saying please, be nice. Leave all administrative issues up to the chief administrative officer. Anything administrative, please send it to me. Do not call the staff. Do not sit in their offices and then complain when mistakes are on the audit. Please leave them alone. It works. And I said please like 4 times. But it is the right thing to do. Let administrative be strong. because I think we have the right person. I know we have the right person in the seat. So respect that seat, respect this seat. And I think we are ready to move forward in this. I thank everyone for coming. As I started a couple of meetings ago, if I have your phone number on those sheets, I will be calling you so that I do reach out and respond to the concerns that you did address here. Even though we don't do it here, you will be contacted. With that being said, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
I know I'm out of order and not in the right place, but today, tonight, we are really asking. Her property is in the center of Eatonville. And her bill for taxes is going to it. I don't know if you really heard what she said. She said, I want to raise my kids here. And there's some conflicts. But how many people taxes are going to make?
I heard. I wrote it down.
And I apologize.
I heard so, but that's a turn.
All right,
Wait, where? Move this second. Has been moved, has been second. All right, it's been moved, second. Second. Second, been moved, second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay.